Hey there, what's up, geeks? This is the officially unofficial Geek Channel Comic Roundup, and I'm your host, Harley Quinn. Now, see, guys, I like to stay on top of things here, and it is Thursday, and you're getting my weekly comic review now. Wow. And it's really kind of peculiar because we did have a lot of comics to talk about. But we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to try something a little bit different. Normally, instead of me rambling on and on about each comic, I'm going to try and get to the point pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my weekly comic roundup, Spoiler-lite, and then I'm going to hit you guys up with another video, a little bit more lengthy, a little bit more in depth, a little bit more spoiler-tastic. And I'm going to be hitting you guys up with that Saturday night, late Sunday morning, early, somewhere in there, depending on how things round up for me. So, okay, so right now, you're going to be getting a Spoiler-lite review, quickity, lickety split here of all the comics I read this week. And then this weekend, you're going to get a more in-depth review discussion. Like, I don't know if you would call it discussion because it's just one person. It's just me. It's just me talking to you guys, the camera, whoever happens to watch these videos. So, yeah. Anywho. Okay, so here's the deal. Like I said, trying something new. We're going to do a quick lickety-split weekly comic roundup now, which is Spoiler-lite. And then this weekend, like I said, stay tuned for the more spoiler-tastic, more in-depth reviews of everything. It gives me a few days to kind of like mull over, think of more things that I want to talk about, more things on my mind involving these comics. But here I am doing the quick review for you this time. Hopefully I can get this out and done. Relatively quick video. Okay, so now expect, like 20-minute video at the most, and then a more in-depth, 50, 60-minute video over the weekend. So here we go. All right, so without further ado, we have a lot of comics, like I said, and basically what I do is I'm going to give it to you in order of how much I like them. Okay, so all going on down to my official pick of the week. So we got a lot to talk about, so here we go. Okay, I do have notes that I usually use because I don't like to just go like, ooh, like, I like to try to remember things, So first one we're going to talk about this week, let's get into it, is Wonder Woman 776. Okay, now what's really interesting about this one, we have a different type of art, different type of artist, very whimsical, I would say, very whimsy. I'll get more in depth about it later on, like I said, this weekend. But let's see here. Diana has followed Janice to Elfheim, okay, and her little squirrel buddy eats a pastry and becomes a real boy. Wow. Okay, so basically it's a pastry with some fairy magic attached, and there's an element of mistaken identity, but soon she is joined by her friend Siggy. Siggy comes to Elfheim to help her out, and he breaks her out of jail. Long story short, Diana is finally back on Earth, everyone! Yeah! Woo! With her rat squirrel buddy and Siggy in tow. Okay, so both of them are with her on Earth. Welcome back. Welcome back finally to Earth, Diana. We'll see ya next month. Okay, now this issue, we're finally cooking here because now Diana is finally back on Earth. She is chasing Janice, and hopefully soon we get this, final showdown. So after many trials and tribulations and various afterworlds, the Earth finally gets to welcome back one of its greatest heroes, Wonder Woman. Yeah. Finally. Okay, so moving on to the next book, we're going to be talking about Batman Reptilian #2. Okay, so if you guys recall, last month I wasn't too hot on this one, but things get a little bit clearer here, and that we finally understand exactly as much as Batman understands about the situation, more or less, involving the Rogues Gallery are getting bit and tasted. Oh my god, by whatever this monster is. We get an explanation for Batman's nasty mood. And that's cool and all, but I still don't like the way he interacts with Alfred most of the time. Anywho, the art is still beautiful and dark. Like, beautiful art. Seriously. And that's, you know, it's beautiful and dark, and it's still the kind of stuff I would hang on my wall. But not the kind of stuff that really makes this story clear to a lot of people, which makes Garth Ennis's writing really have to work that much harder. The good news is that he is doing just that. The writing is great in this book, and it's really good. I'm on board with this now, finally. After I wasn't really on board with it last month, I'm on board with it now. So the next comic we're going to talk about here, moving on up, is Infinite Frontier number 3 of 6, the limited series, Infinite Frontier. Okay, so many adventures in multiverses. Okay, you have action with Arsenal, Bones, President Superman, the whole deal. Everything going wild and connecting and disconnecting and dissecting, and it's going to make more. I'm thinking it's going to make more sense soon as we are halfway through the run of this particular title, because it's 3 out of 6, and I'm sure things will intersect better soon. And I'm just thinking we're really going to have things go boom shit to fuck already. You know, can we get stuff to go boom shit to fuck already? Or is this just another, you know, event, kind of like how we're going to have Fear State and everything like that coming up. It is intriguing. It is entertaining. I still have hope for Roy. Hopefully things work out for him soon. The next issue we're going to be talking about is Teen Titans Academy number 5. This is cute little origin story for the Bat Pack. And I liked it. But I really think this coulda, shoulda been the moment where the audience got to learn who Red X was as well. That would have been really cool. It'd be kind of like the Bat Pack and the audience both have this little secret. That would have been a really cool element to have there. We are 5 issues into this arc, and it's summer break for them. And if you've read the story, you understand why that's an issue there. Who is Red X? I guess we'll have to find out another time. The next issue I'm going to talk to you all about is Batman Secret Files Huntress 1. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are reading Detective Comics, you know that Huntress is involved in Detective Comics. So hightailing it over to the Huntress, whom now is arriving home to regale Doug the cat with her night. Okay, so if you recall in the last issue, Huntress was not doing good, but she was on the mend. Let's see here. Some strange things and strange visions start happening for Huntress, and she's on the move again. She leaves her apartment even though she's feeling kind of weak because of these visions. What I can say is that if you're an avid Detective Comics reader but weren't planning on reading this one, I recommend rethinking that idea, because they do complement each other. Speaking of Detective Comics, we're going to move right along to Detective Comics 1040, Bruce Wayne. Okay, so Bruce goes and turns himself in so that he can kind of keep track of what's going on from position that he's in, and also kind of, you know, let things calm down for at least Bruce Wayne in this whole situation involving Worth and Sarah Worth. It's murder. Meanwhile, Oracle checks in on Patience, and we see Huntress has jumped out the window. This is kind of tying in to the Huntress issue as well. But you know what? Here's the thing. Penguin shows up again with Mr. Worth, and they've got their own plans for Bruce, Batman, and Gotham as a whole. So that's going to be really interesting. It's really exciting to find out what happens. There's some stuff that happens to Bruce, and I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to read this issue because, you know, it's really building up to something more here. So next issue we're going to talk about, getting down in my notes here, is Action Comics 1033, World Rising Continuation. Okay, so the U.S. Government and the Atlanteans are about to go to war over this little freaking stone thingy that powered a ship. Okay, so, and Superman is trying to get them all to see the bigger picture, so that's a great aspect of the story. I do like Superman's ability to try and put, well, what he's trying to do is put people better on track with everything. And he's really trying there, guys. But it's not working out very well. Lois gets to kick some ass with a gun, and the story is really well written. But I'm really looking forward to get a little bit more snappier soon, considering everything else that is coming out around now. We're going to be talking about another Superman comic in a bit, and that kind of thing. So, like, with everything happening right now, I'm kind of like, okay, is Superman going to just steal the goddamn stone already? What's happening? But still, really great issue, really entertaining, really great writing, all that. So we're moving right along to Robin number 4. Oh my goodness, this one was a great one. Let me get to my notes involving that one. Okay, so in this issue, Robin finds himself waking up and being taken care of by his grandfather, Reshagu. Yeah, the demon. And the demon is taking this opportunity to train Damien, not physically, but train his mind as well. Trying to get, like, very, you know, kumbaya with his mind to help him as a warrior. But the little bugger is slippery and is back on his way to Lazarus Island. And on the way, he runs into some familiar faces. And we'll get back into that. We'll probably talk about that a little bit with the video this weekend that gets more in depth, but that's going to be interesting. The book continues to grow Damien as not only a fighter, detective, but also as a person. It's a growing character arc that I hope only continues on the path that it is now. It's really gotten me to the point where it's turned this hot-headed teenager coming slowly into his own. It's making me like him more. So it's really a coming of age story in a comic, and I'm a sucker for those coming of age stories. So let me tell you, it's really great overall. So here we're coming to the next to last issue that I'm going to be talking about with you today. I'm going to take a quick little drink of my Monster here. Oh, wow. I love that flavor. This one is Pacific Punch. I know they're probably not good for me, but it was a little treat. I haven't drank one of these in like a while, so I decided to treat myself tonight. Anywho, so the next issue that we're going to talk about tonight, I mean, considering my history with this show, you would think this would probably have been my comic of the week just because of how much I love the character, but she's close. She's next to last. She's almost the comic of the week. Harley Quinn number 5, everybody. Harley Quinn. You know, you guys, if you're familiar with my channel here and everything, you know my love for Harley Quinn runs deep. So Harley here, Harley's psychoanalysis of Hugo Strange seems pretty on the money to me. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, is here with the assist, and that's really cool, and I'm really glad that they put Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, in the issue as well. I do appreciate that. I do like that. And Harley gets her Kevin back, along with breaking out some of the other clowns from the Joker War that were captured. Here's the thing, though. Unfortunately, Hugo has already put part of his plan into action with the clowns and is doing that whole victim scheming stuff with Keepsake. The art is growing on me. As you guys know, like, the art was not really a strong point for me. It's growing on me considering the type of book this is. And I love the light use. And one of the things I really love about this is the light use of narrative and how they use it. We have been seeing this with a lot of the Harley stories so far since the beginning of Infinite Frontier. Yeah, I really love that. There's times where I'm hating the narrative and there's times where I'm loving the narrative. And the circumstance where I'm loving the narrative is definitely something like what's going on with Harley, okay? Because a lot of times it's like this stream of consciousness thing, telling a story, but it's not really addressing anyone. The thing is this narrative, it's really cool with Harley because it kind of breaks the fourth wall. You become kind of a part of this because she's kind of addressing the audience. While there's other narrative in other comics, to me it's often either tedious or a stream of consciousness. And here, like I said, it's really great because it addressed the audience. And I think that really adds to the story. And that's why Harley is as high up in my count as she is this week. Okay, so that brings us to my number one issue of this week. It's not really a surprise, and I'm pretty sure you guys all knew I was going to be picking this one up. I have become a Taylor fan through Nightwing. And of course, I have been reading Superman. So now Superman, Son of KalEl came out. This is my comic of the week. This is my fave for this week. And let me tell you, I love how what a poignant and valid and God, it's an important start in this story, this dawn of this new Superman, of this superhero. I mean, not that John hasn't been a superhero up until now. John becoming Superman is now beginning, obviously, with this new line of story. And I love the whole idea that it kind of, what kind of Superman do you want to be? What do you want to stand for? And I loved it. It was the idea of truth, justice, and a better world. And that was amazing. And Taylor, he bops on in here with Tim's and delivers a classic 1-2 KO with this new Superman, John Kent. There's not much to say besides that. The beauty of what John wants Superman to stand for. And if there's just something that doesn't set well with you or what have you, you haven't been paying attention to comics, especially Superman. One of the things that I really loved was the maturity with which Taylor wrote. So John does visit, this is a little spoilery here, but John does visit Damian on Lazarus Island, because Damian's his best buddy. It's his pal, his compadre, right? The maturity with which Taylor writes Damian, really great, really awesome. And it's Damian, it's his best friend, that special relationship that helps him understand who he needs to be. So it was really great, and I'm definitely excited for this. So that's it. That's what I have for this week. So 10 issues. Rapid fire, guys. Look at me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier in the video, here is my quickie little spoiler-lite reviews. And I'm going to get more in depth with these this weekend. And it's going to be a video posted either late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Getting more in depth. It's going to give you a chance to finish reading your comics and come back and watch me talk more in depth about these comics. We're going to try that out. We're going to do a shorter review that's spoiler-lite like I did with this one. And we're going to do a more spoiler-tastic, you know, heavier on the spoilers, more speculation, more thoughts in regards to what's going on here, because I love that shit, okay? But I also want to see you guys, and I want to see your thoughts on the comics as well. So do all the YouTube thingies, comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, all that stuff. I still got my Buy Me a Coffee site. I'll put a link down below. So if you like what I'm doing, you want to support the channel, please go ahead and run on over there and give me $5. Buy me a coffee. Woo! Awesome. So that's it for the Officially Unofficial Geek Channel's weekly comic roundup part 1. And I'll be seeing you guys this weekend. And visit your local comic book shop. Read your comics. Read anything. Just keep reading. And support your small businesses, your small comic book shops, because they are the backbone of this industry. Bye!